But the issue is that Beck came out last week and endorsed it and said he loved the message. And they said, remove your endorsement. You're an establishment lackey trying to co-opt our movement. So the good news is anybody with half a brain knows that Beck's a phony. He does a lot of good work, but he only does that to get you under his control so he can then deny key issues. Remember, when Ron Paul had a chance of winning, it was Glenn Beck sunk him more than anybody. And now that Ron Paul can't become president right now, he loves him. He is a Judas Iscariot. He is a Benedict Arnold. Well, gentlemen, I want to commend you on the film, Camp FEMA, available at Infowars.com. Hope everybody gets it, shows their friends and family. You can also call toll-free to get it, 888-253-3139. While you're calling, you can also order Fall of the Republic that ships in, what are we talking about, 15 days here or earlier. Comes out October 21st, 888-253-3139. I want to thank both of you for the great job you've done, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you, Gary Franchi and William Lewis. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with financial news, more flu news, and your phone calls. Okay, here's the deal. I want to continue with your phone calls.
Ira hates.
More and more, I'm sitting there listening to our last guest. And I'm thinking, why are we having to even fight FEMA camps? Why are we even having to fight mercenaries? Why are we even having to deal with face-scanning cameras and AP headlines? National police chiefs call for neighbors to spy on neighbors. And then I'm in Billings, Montana, and the third floor elevator opens, and it's police and Homeland Security banners with hundreds of Girl Scouts. And I step out of the elevator dazed. I mean, you know, it's so insane. It's so evil. And these crazy cops and crazy spies and crazy un-American people will go, we're stopping drugs, we're stopping terrorists. When you stage the terror in almost every case, when you ship the drugs in, it's all on record. I mean, give me a break. Leave me alone. I already don't go downtown Austin hardly ever to eat, even though they got good restaurants down there, because I don't want to be around the thug downtown cops. What am I going to do when they say now they take blood randomly at checkpoints? They're announcing in Canada and England they're going to randomly take breathalyzers and blood. Randomly. What do I do when the cop goes, I'm going to stick a needle in your arm, boy? I mean, it's just they keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And they work for offshore banks that are openly killing the dollar, that have openly doubled the credit card rates to 30%, who are openly setting up world government and are going to tax carbon dioxide. We've been tracking gold today. It's broke the all-time record by over $10 of over $1,041 today. $1,041 today. I haven't looked at it in the last hour. I wanted to briefly have Ted Anderson come in. Midas Resources, 30 years in the gold and silver business. Ted's had Midas for 12. Ted, what is going on right now?
Well, I'm watching the market just like you are, Alex. I mean, the market right now is sitting at 1,040 and change. The sellers have tried to bring the prices down into the 1,030 range, but it keeps bouncing right back up again. This all started in the middle of the night while we were sleeping. The Arab countries decided to join on with this UN thing to bring down the United States dollar and go to a basket of currencies. And since then, the dollar has just been plummeting and gold has been going up. And we've seen a high of 1,044 now today, and it's been very strong. I mean, I got to tell you, I'm really happy to see that there's a lot of people taking advantage of the offers we have right now. I mean, people are finally coming to their senses. I don't know. I hate to have to motivate people by fear because they should be using their head. But, you know, here's the thing. Here's the news story. The United States dollar's in trouble. And there's nothing really that we can do about it because we've gone so far into debt that we rely on foreign nations in order to finance our economy. And now we're watching the dollar fall in value because of the foreigners that have been financing this for us are deciding they don't want to have any more of it. They want to sell the debt that they already have, the stuff, the loans that they've already given us, which means the dollar falls. I mean, that's just simply it, man. If you're sitting in the bank, if you have money in the stock market, if you're looking at anything that has to do with U.S. currency, man, all I can say is you better take a real serious look at what you have, because before this is done, we could be like Argentina, where you're sitting at 40% of your value of what you had just a year ago. I mean, they were a nation superpower back in the day, and then all of a sudden they went into this deficit spiral, and now their currency is almost worthless. And that's what the United States is doing. It's just identical. I mean, that's not the only country. I mean, look what Mexico did, Argentina, Brazil. There's Venezuela. There's countries in Africa, obviously. I mean, the world doesn't want the United States dollar anymore. They don't want to be dominated by the United States anymore. They'd like to get away from that. And unfortunately, us here as citizens who have our assets tied up in U.S. dollar are going to take the hit.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Ted. Where is gold right now?
Well, right now, gold is at 1,040 and change. I looked at it just before I walked in. It was like 1,040 and 40 cents. I can tell you right now, Alex, the stuff that I've accumulated here at that 940, the 988 to 940 level is going to be gone. And you know what? My prices, I'm looking at the wholesale prices to me right now. I have to pay a tremendous amount more for the same stuff. I can't say it enough. I really want people to get into gold and silver. It is a big enough train wreck for everybody in the entire nation to recognize that it's coming now. Don't mess around with your future. This is it. We have the handwriting on the wall. I don't know how
Absolutely. Let me give them the number. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. Ted's running this deal up until 3 o'clock today, I guess, when the show ends. 800-686-2237. Do not procrastinate, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, we'll talk to Ted on the other side. If he can hold it a little bit longer, we'll find out together.
We're